Say Iran, and what comes to mind? Ayatollahs, crowds chanting death to America, death to Britain, missiles, hostages, terrorism. Let's face it, that is the country's image in the West. But it's a huge, complex place with connections everywhere. There's a lot more to Iran than that. How big a threat is it, and how much is our view down to propaganda? How dangerous is Iran really? To answer that question, we have to ask another. How dangerous do they think we are? They call Britain Little Satan and America Great Satan, and to some extent you can see why. Their history is one long, sorry tale of Western interference. We repeatedly carved up their territory. The British tried to take over their oil, the CIA and Britain toppled one of their elected leaders, and supported Iraq in the war in the 80s that killed millions. So it shouldn't be all that surprising if Iranians don't trust us much and fear the West is looking for regime change.
The objectives of the regime are not going to change, and therefore the only solution is to change the regime itself.
If the leadership of Iran behaves badly, then it's going to be a very, very bad day for them.
Iran is an authoritarian, theocratic state. That means it's run by religious people under religious laws. Accept that and you can live your life, and in some ways it looks like anywhere else. But if you don't agree with the rules, it can be very dangerous indeed.
Dissenters who openly criticise the way Iran is run are in danger of arrest, torture, disappearing in jail. So are women who don't like the religious rule they have to wear a headscarf. Many have been rounded up and not seen since for protesting against the rule. And LGBT people are in grave danger too. Gay sex is illegal and punishable by death. Thousands have been executed for loving a member of their own sex.
States like these and their terrorist allies constitute an axis of evil, arming to threaten the peace of the world.
But how evil and how dangerous you think Iran is depends probably on who you are and where. But the most to fear probably Israel. Iranian leaders have talked about wiping Israelis off the face of the earth. Hardly reassuring. And Israel accuses Iran of working around the clock to come up with a way of doing so.
A red line should be drawn right here before Iran completes the second stage of nuclear enrichment.
Then there are Iran's Arab neighbours who are divided. Iran is Shia, so Shia Muslims in Syria, Yemen, southern Lebanon generally see Iranians as allies. Sunni Muslims in Egypt, the Gulf states and most of all Saudi Arabia do not. They accuse Iran of attacking them and plotting against them. What about the West? Well, this is Washington's rap sheet on Iran. Firstly, it's accused of spreading terrorism around the world, supporting groups like the Houthis in Yemen, Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon. Secondly, it wants to build the nuclear bomb, says the US, and the means of delivering it. Iran has developed an armoury of missiles that could now reach the heart of Europe. Despite all that, though, the West and Iran had a go at burying the hatchet. Under Barack Obama, the US tried a new tack. Led by America, the big powers and Iran tried to do a deal. The plan was to focus just on Iran's alleged bomb making and give them a pass on all that alleged terrorism and missile making. It worked after 5 painful years of negotiations. Iran opened up to inspections to prove it wasn't making the bomb, and sanctions were lifted. And then Donald Trump got elected. He hated the deal.
Never, ever, ever in my life have I seen any transaction so incompetently negotiated as our deal with Iran.
And even though it had been signed in good faith, he ripped up America's signature on it and went back on all its commitments. And America says Iran can't be trusted. Iran's government is complicated. At the top, the supreme leader. Below him, the elected politicians, president and cabinet, called the moderates. Then there are the hardliners, the military, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and other shadowy security agencies. They hold each other in check. Barack Obama hoped the nuclear deal would help the moderates and make Iran less dangerous. Now the deal is falling apart and the hardliners are getting more powerful. So the situation is only looking more dangerous.